I'm joined now by Matt Britland, Director of the Education Consultancy Realise Learning and also Head of ICT at Kingston Grammar School in London. First of all, I'm a school. I'm introducing new technology. What should be in the back of my mind?
I think from the very beginning you've got to think about how it's going to be used to support teaching and learning. At the end of the day, technology is a tool and it's there for a reason. If you don't know why you're going to use it, I would say don't buy anything until you know that. And also staff training as well is important. How are you going to deliver staff training so they can effectively use that technology with their students?
What about the relationship between tech companies, the providers and the actual schools? Because I imagine on the one hand they're wanting to make a profit, on the other hand on the school side they're being hammered on funds, aren't they?
Yeah. From my experience, they're quite good because the tech companies really need to work with the school in order to support what we're doing, and they also need to, we need to be able to trust them and trust that they're doing the right thing. So it's, overall I think it's good. I think what might maybe improve things is if some of the tech companies are able to go into a whole variety of different schools in order to sort of use their kit and try and promote it with schools, from independent schools to your state schools as well. Very
important though to choose the right tool for the job, the right technology, because there must be quite a difference in the demands in the classrooms here.
Yeah, absolutely, and that comes down as well to having someone in the school who knows how that technology is going to be used, is how it's going to work. Because without that, you've just got a bunch of technology that no one really knows how to use and no one knows how to utilise, and it's a lot of money wasted, really.
Technology is one thing, but it's not the be-all and end-all. It's the type of technology and how engaging it is for pupils who maybe go home, play computer games, they're very engaged, but if they think it's just boring education, they're not going to be engaged, are they?
This is it. It doesn't matter. Technology itself isn't necessarily engaging. It's down to how it's used. So, I mean, you can have all singing, all dancers, you can have a bunch of iPads or, other tablets and thinking, yes, this is going to be cool, where all the kids are going to love it. And actually, if they're used in a really boring, bland way, it doesn't matter what tech they've got. It needs to be used to its full potential, and that's when the engagement starts coming in, and that's when they're being used, to teach, and the kids are there to learn as well. So
let's talk about the digital divide. Clearly it does exist in some areas, but is there a case here it's not just a digital divide in what some pupils have in their homes, whether it's the latest technology or older technology? Is there a danger of a digital divide within schools themselves?
Absolutely, and it's happening across the country. Not all schools are going to have the same amount of money as other schools. So when you'll have some schools buying top-of-the-range computers and tablets and software, you'll have some schools who just won't be able to do that. And it's an issue, basically, because there is that digital divide between schools, and also, you've got your kids at home who some, may not have access to the internet either.
Technology is changing at an unbelievable rate. So if you're in a school, if you're in charge of this type of ICT or technology, what should you be looking at in the coming months or years?
You need to be looking at other countries, so sort of the Asian countries, South Korea, Indonesia, all that sort of thing. How are they using it? Because they seem to be quite, they seem to be a little bit further ahead than us, maybe. And I think it's a good idea to have to where you want it to go yourself. And then when you can see, sometimes technology isn't necessarily just there for education, but you can see something in there that might really work. So you've got motion sensors, for instance. That can be really powerful in schools, I think, really engaging, and it could change the way students and teachers interact with what's going on around them.
So finally, from your perspective, let me make you sort of commit yourself. What out of all the wealth of technology that you're viewing at the moment, now and in the future, do you think they should be looking at? What really turns you on?
Well, I think you have to look at the cloud. I think things like being able to create cloud documents.
This is storing materials
online,
in the ether, online,
absolutely, but not just storing it, but actually editing it online as well. And schools could really use that for collaboration with for students to collaborate with each other, for teachers to collaborate, and also you can go on holiday and still access all your files and your documents if you've got an internet connection. And also I think it's quite interesting about things like Google Glass and stuff like that. How is augmented reality going to sort of edging its way into the classroom?
Okay, well, taking technology on holiday with you, it's a frightening thought, but Matt Britland, thank you very much for joining us on the programme.